There's another file type, right? That I before now, because I don't want to, make the video too long and bore you people with too much information. And I just wanted it to be simple as possible, right? I didn't want to include this particular file type, but on the second thought, I realized, is essential. You guys just know how to. That is know about this file type. The file type itself is actually an After Effects file. How do I mean? Because sometimes you can be working. Let's say there's a new project you want to do, right? And in this new project, it's you want to make use of a former animation that you've done previously, right? So instead of you wasting that whole time of reanimating, going from the scratch, it makes more sense for you to just go back to the former one you've done and import whatever is there. Okay, let's say for instance, right, in this new class, right, in this new animation demonstration I want to do, let's say I love this, especially the background and how the text comes in, right? The text formation and all of that. So I would want to actually use all of this as elements in the next one I'm doing. This is a now I had to pause the video to come back here. This was a former introduction to all those file type, right? That I kind of just did little animation for. So with this now, I like this, right? I want to incorporate it into the new one. So how do I go about that? First off, is that okay? This is a composition. It's called an MP3 WAV, right? That's what this particular comp is called. Now, if I were to go, there's natively After Effects has a way to like export, yes, to like save a particular no, okay. Yes, by natively, the to do that with After Effects natively, what it provides alone is that I can only export the entire project that in such a way that okay, let's say this background that I'm using is actually I think an Illustrator background. I think it's an Illustrator file. Okay, no, a Photoshop file actually. It's a Photoshop file. So you can see them here. They're actually Photoshop files. So there's a matter of dependency. There's a matter of network happening here. So it means if I'm saving this, if I want to reuse this MP3 WAV, right? That's the name here. The title is this MP3 WAV comp in my new project. It means I must also collect, once I'm collecting it, I must also collect this background, right? But the interesting thing is that once I come to do something like that in After Effects, I need to come to File, click this file, come to Dependency. But once I go this route and say collect files, it's what it will eventually do. If this is the case, what you like, maybe that can work. Or let me say, okay, let me quickly explain this. Many times, this particular option, it works best for, let's say you are working on your system, right? When you were collecting all those files, maybe you were just under pressure. You never brought. You remember in our file organization, before we make sure we create a folder in our file explorer, right? We create a folder on our system, create a folder that's a master folder. Then inside of it, we have After Effects, Illustrator, images. Before we start, we must have populated those these things with the images I want, the Illustrator file that I want before we start bringing them into After Effects. So that whenever I want to send the file out, it's easy sent out. We'll just copy that master folder and send out. But what if you were so overwhelmed with the deliverables that you just didn't care? You were just taking things from your computer. You can't even remember each where you brought each of them. So this is what this collect files does, and you now need to send it to a colleague so that the person will continue the work. Now, once you just collect the After Effects file and send to the person, the person's system will be shouting that all the network are broken. Now, the way to go against that, to militate against that doesn't happen, is this file, then dependency, then collect files. Once we go to this collect source or all files, yes, it actually allows for a specific composition. As mean I selected a specific composition, it allows for that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't export it where. Okay, okay, let's say, let me select this particular composition. The way for me to, like, imagine, okay, for me to select the mp3, right? mp3, then I come here, I type mp3. So this is the composition. So once I have it selected and I come to this file dependency, then collect files, then I can now have selected comps. Many times, then if I say all, okay, let's go with this option of all, then I say collect, it will not take me to wherever I want to now save this. I cannot choose where I want to save this. So once I save this, it will collect every single file in its network and put it in a one huge folder, one whole folder. So I can now select that folder and zip it and send to somebody, or I just collect it as a folder and not zipping all. But if you're emailing it, then it makes more sense for you to zip it so that it will be faster in the whole sending the file through. So this is for the whole, but right now that's not what I want. I just want a specific um yes, for selected comp, right? Yes, that's the one for selected, that's the one I've selected, right? Collect. Sometimes it does a good job, sometimes it doesn't do a good job. But let's see if it does. I will show you. There's one tool I tend to use for this many times. Then collect. Then I cannot save it where I want to save it. So let me go back to the path where I want to save it. So remember, this is our importing files, right? And I said you need to name this. Let's say Zenith Bank once 96665, what's that there, or GT Bank *77 code. That's what you should name this based on the project you're working on, right? Then in here, right now I've not created a folder for it. How I normally do this is that I come here, create my new folder, or new, right click new, then new folder. I name it under stock underscore AE as After Effects. Then yes, then this is the part I enter now. I copy this part now. This is where exactly I want to save this. Sometimes it does some pretty good job, but sometimes it doesn't. So let's see if in this case what was the case. What did it do? So it has done exporting this particular comp. So let's go there. So I'll need to close this now and check if it did a good job. So let me close. Yeah. What is it? Yeah, okay, here it is. So you created a folder. Then when you go here, you see the dependency, that's the files that I use in creating them. So I use some PSD files. You see, it also brought that folder, the PSD folder. So you can see the slide type, the particular name of the PSD. So this, assuming I use more than PSD in, or as in other files, let's say images and other PNGs, or even audio, even video, right? It will create folder for each of them, video, images for all of them. So I'll come here. So what it means now, this particular After Effects file is feeding off on every single footage here, every single footage there. So let's see. Now I'm opening it now to see if it did a good job. Okay, so it did a pretty job. So everything is here. Everything is there because it's not quite complicated. But there's another tool. Let me just quickly run you guys by that. On that tool is that once I have this selected, once I'm in this comp, uh, you know what? Let me close this. Let me close this. I think. Okay, let me open everything again. I think it didn't do a good job. Let me re-examine it again. Okay, quickly. So so it has just opened. So as you can see, right? This is why I don't tend to use that the native After Effects file collect dependency, right? And even when I enter specific comp, you can see that at the end of the day, this was just the one I needed. This MP, this comp alone, this MP3 WAV comp, it was one I needed. But at the end, it's also exported plenty of other things. These are the this thing I use to do my intros. So you can see it brought plenty other comp which I don't need. I don't need all of this. So the best way for me, like so the best way for me over time that I've learned that so reopening this now, we can see that it didn't do a good job. It import like we still have plenty other comps that we don't really need. Remember, the motivation here is that we love this particular animation that happened there, both the text and the background, right? So that's we want to reuse it, just this comp alone. And we told After Effects, we went to file, collect dependency, and we told it to collect only the composition, but it ended up collecting plenty of other composition that we don't really need, or me I don't really need in to use in the next animation that I want to do. So for me, the way I do, there's a script. It's actually a script. Then later I will talk about that, how to yes import external scripts into After Effects to work. So I've done that. So for me to run the script, I come to Windows, scroll down, I scroll down to save comp as project JBX bin. That's a script. That's the shortcut for that's the this thing. That's the file name for After Effects scripts. So here now, once I have this selected and I look for it here, I type I need the MP3, right? MP3 underscore WAV. I type my MP3. I have it selected here. Then I press this save as project. I'm saying save this composition as project. That's what I'm doing here now. So this is like for me my own hack that I found, right? So it tells me composition successfully exported. So I say yeah. I say okay. So I now need to come back here. Interesting enough, I'll still go back and make use of that After Effects export dependency and all of that. So here, so you can see what it did. It named the one I just exported the project name. First of it named it as the title card file types. That's the project name. they now added underscore mp3 wav. That's the name of the specific composition. But right now, I can now come here and rename it to just say mp3 wav. Let's say text. That's the major thing I need. Just the text and the background. So I will double click on it to open it. So once it opens, because right now, if you come here, if you to read this right, it's right now is feeding off on this information we have here, the footages we have here. So that's where what is feeding up. So imagine if if there are extra things, but right now it's just only the slide file that is here, right? If there were extra, then it means that there are there will be plenty footages here that we don't really need. That this guy is not really feeding off, right? Yeah, that I don't really need. To a large extent, if I just carry this guy now, if I carry this mp3 WAV text, right? If I just copy it and put it inside my stock images, stock AE file, right? Yes, okay, let's say, and I just put it here now. Many times it will break, many times than none, it actually breaks. So the first thing I do is that I click on it, you understand? I come here first off. Yes, so this is, so you can see, you see, it did a better job than what's it called? I only have the composition. This is the background, right? The composition that pertains this one. It didn't go ahead in exporting extra composition that I don't need. So with that now, I can now come here and make sure that at the end of the day, I'm only collecting the files that just this comp alone is using. So I come here, dependency, collect files again. Remember before, I'm only doing this after I have used my save as project. I'm only doing it after I've used saved as project. When after I had when there were plenty other comps in that project, right? I only focused on this comp, right? And I have it selected. I selected it here in this when there were plenty other comps, and I did save as project. So after saving as project, it's saved. It brought out this mp3 WAV text, right? But before we renamed it to mp3 WAV text. So and I double clicked on it, so to bring me here. So I come here now to file to make sure that there is no thing in its network that I didn't collect now. So I want to make sure I collect everything in its network. So I do collect files, all files, and I say collect. Yeah, this is the exact place. Yeah, this is the exact place I want it to be. So it creates a folder of its own, that mp3 WAV text folder. So once that is done, yes, then I'm good to go. So I can close this one now. So it means in this, that's let's go back. Let's just go back to the beginning here. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake when when I was importing, when I was saving this. That's collecting the dependency. I made a mistake. Instead of saving it in the stock images AI, I made a mistake to save it here. So what I can do now is to Control X, right, is to cut it. Control X, then go back to this, to the stock, because it's here, it's meant to stick sit as stock AI. Then I can delete. This one was just for a demonstration. And mind you, if you don't really understand this, don't just for now. There are some times that there's some information that they just you just need to know them, right? Just need to know them. You don't necessarily need to start functioning with them with time as project comes. Okay, when you are actually in need of it, when the real time when you are in need of them, because I've explained it when you're actually in need of them, because I've explained the whole process to you, it becomes easier for you to make informed decision, right? So that's it for now. So I can come here, delete this one because it's not really needed. It's not really needed. All I need here is just this one that I did now. So with this now, I can come back here. Remember, this is our major importing files into After Effects. Remember, this is our major file that we're working with, right? Importing into After Effects. And this one I have because there's a previous animation that I did that I like, and I did collect dependency. No, I did save as project, save comp as project, and I did collect dependency. That was what brought it here. So with that, going back to this now, reopening this one that I was working with before. That's before now I think I've imported every other the major basic files that we work with while doing motion graphics, right? But it was just remaining the After Effects files, right? So I'm reopening the After Effects, the After Effects project now to continue. So back here now, I should not I should now create another folder, call it AE. So in this AE, I put my AE files. So I come here, that's but in here I named it as stock AE, right? So differentiate it to the other one. So you see it's created a folder for it. So I can drag this After Effects file and do what drop it in here. So this is also for now. What we just do is for you to see how it behaves. Like okay, when you bring After Effects file, how does it look like? You see, there's a folder. There's a folder for it. You can see there's solids that we use, some solid that I use them, but I think all of these solids should be because I created a null. Yeah, and I have the PSD. Well, I didn't remove. I should have removed this. I'm I'm having to this MP3, which is actually the main folder, right? I'm having this issue of it being under PS because I failed to. Because remember, all of this is because I started working from the folder that PSD, that's the Photoshop created, and I failed to now create a new folder for it. You understand? I failed to create a new folder for it and call it like a major or minor, right? That is why I had this particular main comp inside PS, which is not supposed to be. I was supposed to create another, you know what, let me do that now. Name it underscore main, right? So I have it up there. So I put it in here now. So you can see. So I just clicked on that. So you can see this particular composition that was in that former project now. I've successfully imported it here. So I can come here and start formatting this to this my new project now and say what was the script again? Okay, I've closed the script. Yeah, say strategy based on this new one now. So this is how the different importing them into these different file types behave. So let's say this is importing file. This is my general this thing, right? Okay, I've not imported. Okay, let me import the audio style. See how it also behaves. So you can see with the audio, it doesn't have this this thing where to share it or to. It only has just a. just the sound. It doesn't have the eye. So with this, if you press L, you see the wave. Now this is very good to read. Sometimes, let's say here is just dry, right? It means no sound is coming at that particular time. No sound is coming in here. So um, yeah, that's L. L brings out just single L. If you press single L, it brings out the audio level control. The audio level control. Now I can make it louder. That's, I think, plus 12 is the highest. Plus 12 is the highest. And I can reduce it to like minus, like, so I'm going minus 100 and something to like totally reduce it. But zero is the normal volume that it comes with. So once I press another, that's if I press L twice. If I press L twice, it brings this wave waveform to read your audio. So, in a nutshell, this is how the different files behave. Then after this, now we'll start animating them and to make something out from it. Make a mini um, montage, yeah, a mini montage from all this. And remember, all of this is based on. Before I started this project, I took out my time. What is the concept that I was trying to create, right? And there's like four lines that is driving all of this. That is why I choose. Though this woman is not there, but I think this is part of it. This connotes the idea of focus. That's for the concept of focus. Then the other one has strategy and all of that. So see you in the next class, in the next lesson.